guys, welcome back to Revelation 11:27, where we speak the truth and nothing but the truth, and where you could be yourself, right? And what better way to be yourself, well, to be myself, than to, move my Barbies to this beautiful pink home. And I wanted to do it with you guys here. So, let's do it. Before I want to show you guys, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So yesterday, I was like, cause you guys know how, I take my confirmation. Thank you, Bird. How I take my time with everything, with my art. I don't like to rush my art. Especially, confirmation. You guys see that? Okay. I don't like to rush my art. Dang, that was crazy. Thank you for the confirmation. Oh my gosh, I love Mother Nature. I love everything. I feel like Snow White. Confirmation. So I was like looking for the perfect, like middle piece for this doll, for this spiritual doll that I have. All of my Barbies are spiritual. So I don't know if you guys know, right? But I don't really like bones on anything. Like, I don't like to eat chicken with bones. But lately, right, I've allowed myself to explore and be open to things. So the other day I had some Indian food and it had confirmation and it had bones, but the chicken and the spices were so good that I literally did not even mind taking the meat out of the bones, and I ate it. But yesterday I was, walking in nature like I always do, and I found the perfect pieces for this. Look at this bone and look at this shell. How cool is that, man? So cool. It just gives her more of a protection, that one, even though she's already protected. But yeah, I noticed the bone and I was like, should I grab it? Because but I was like, yes, this was for a reason. Not only have I overcame many deaths, many lifetimes from these haters, especially my family, but now I'm more comfortable, right? I'm more comfortable. I'm even more comfortable than before, just being myself. And being able to explore my dark side, just how I've explored my light side. So yeah, so this bone and this shell is like death for a miraculous rebirth. It's her. There you go. And then we're gonna place her there too. I love her too. I love all of my dogs. Look at her. Oh, I added more to her scales. She's from Lumeria, like me. Meaning that we don't have to look like a specific gender. We're androgynous, right? And we are sent here to serve karma. And we have a very close connection to the sea, to the ocean. Well, my connection is pretty much to everything, right? The sea, the ocean, the skies, the elements, the heavens, the Galactic Federation, and the underworld. And I'm grateful for my connection, because my connection is also my protection, right? And a lot of these people want to demonize the underworld, but girl, you are the ones that are using the underworld to do witchcraft and black magic on people. And then you go to church the next day, or you knock on people's houses, being the fake Jehovah Witness that you are, like my mother and stepfather, and then go back and do more witchcraft. Oh, okay. LOL. This one is my Cuban Lumerian girl. She's made out of crows and doves. She has a seashell there too. Look at her expression. She's just so happy to be in this carnival called life. Doesn't she look like a carnival girl? You know those girls that dance like in the middle of the street with the whole band, and they just like shake their shoulders like that. Very cultural, very Cuba. And then I also have this one too. She's not my dolls, right? My dolls, like I said, I take my time with them because they're spiritual. You know, you have to put your energy, your time. You have to nurture it. Like I always say, when you nurture anything, you give it nutrients to grow, right? When you nurture something, you take care of it. Like when you nurture a relationship, you text that person, right? To let them know that you care about them, right? When you nurture a friendship as well. When you nurture a career or skill, you learn more about it to make yourself more wise about that, of what it is that you're studying. So yeah, when you nurture a skill, a talent, it'll grow. I promise. Just stay consistent. Don't let these people change who you are. So guys, as you can see, these are my spiritual dolls. And don't fuck with me, because if you do, they'll fuck with you in your dreams, in your nightmares. They'll be there defending me. Thank you. Look at this one. She's still so happy. Look at her expressions. She's crying out of joy. Those are tears of joy. Tears of love. And also too, I'm gonna start making spiritual dolls. And I'm gonna post them on my website, Papiware. And I'll let you guys know whenever I start doing that. So. Let's put some flowers. I also make well, part of the art that I do is I also make house decors, right? But this is part of the decors that I use here in my readings that I also made myself. And I have some available on my website, Papiware. But I'll also be putting in more products soon. More amazing art pieces. I love this dolphin. And this turtle. This starfish. Very connected to the sea, very connected to the ocean, as you can see. Thank you, ancestors. Period. Look at this one. Look how peaceful this turtle is. Can you feel the peace by his face? I can. And it gets some water for my ancestors. You know, you gotta treat your ancestors like regular humans. Well, they are regular humans, but sometimes just because we say like ancestors or like they're in the spiritual world, we just forget that they like what you like. They like bread. They like chips. They love water. They love coffee. So if your ancestors are, you know, over there fighting for you in the spiritual realm, they're protecting you, they're giving you guidance, why not give them a little treat, you know? That is why it's so important to take care of the things you love. Natural water from the river. Here you go, ancestors. So grateful for you guys. So grateful for everything. So grateful because honestly, without you guys, without God, without the universe, I don't even know what I'll be doing. But I'm grateful that I'm here today with you guys. That's why affirmation. That's why you guys deserve everything. The spiritual world deserves the attention that for the longest time it wasn't getting, or the attention that for the longest time it was being demonized by really people that are really the ones doing witchcraft and black magic, like my family and other narcissists and other religious people and other people with titles. That time is over. And you know, that is why I said at the beginning of the video, like, let's do something that you could be yourself, because believe it or not, right, I bought my first Barbie, this mermaid, 1 month ago. Oh, maybe that's why she's crying out of tears, right? And the reason why I was able to do that, right? I'm 29 years old. God forbid I would ever even ask my parents for anything. So imagine a Barbie, right? I didn't even like to play with cars growing up. I like Barbies because Barbies are like human, you know? They're like, you could see the human body. But anyways, right? After I was evicted from my mother's home and Ubered to that prostitution hotel by my brother, and I was unaware, right? I used that time wisely. I used that time to get connected to myself even more, right? To do things that I couldn't do at home, or couldn't do around my own family because of the judgment that they would just spew it out into the world. And not because I was afraid of that judgment, or because I'm scared of people judging me, no. But because I never wanted confirmation. I never wanted anyone's confirmation's nastiness and bitterness and maliciousness to infiltrate that beautiful part of myself. So you know what I did to that? To that beautiful part of myself? I literally imagined it, right? Confirmation and a meditation. Going into a beautiful treasure box. And you want to know what I did with that treasure box? I put it away in my heart and I locked it. Confirmation. To protect it from other people's nastiness and other people's thoughts and other people's jealousy and judgment. And maybe you should do the same, right? Don't let anyone take that beautiful part of yourself away. That part that makes you, you. And usually that's the part that people make you feel like it's ugly, or that it's embarrassing, or that it's too needy, or that's the part that they want you to hide. And that's the part that you need. That's your inner child. That's the part that you need so you can continue to create. Because from that, a lot will grow. So parents, if your child likes to play with dolls, with Barbies, your little boy child, likes to play with dolls and Barbies instead of cars, let him. Don't change him, because that is going to create a lot of blocked emotions, blocked feelings, and it'll just escalate from there. If your daughter wants to play with cars instead of Barbie dolls, let her. How does a child wanting to play with either a doll or a toy, how does that dictate the kind of human being that they are? Or how does that dictate whether they are nice or bad? Exactly. You're the one that needs to heal a lot of things as a parent if you're trying to control the likes and dislikes of your children, really. Which is why I say it's so important for school information. Thank you. For school to be teaching emotional control, or like learn knowledge about emotions, knowledge about spirituality, right? Confirmation. We have all these people in power, right? Teachers, parents, really, because they're in power with their children, really. Or if you're like my mother, right? Your child is 29 years old and you have a forged power of attorney, but we're not going to speak about that right now. But how are people in power, people in positions of power, supposed to be knowledgeable, but they don't even know how to control their own mental health? That is what we need to look at, because those are the people that are teaching the same nasty behavior that they have on to the younger generations. Confirmation. But it's okay. That is why I'm here. Have no fear. Reyypapi's here. Now we're gonna light up this the candle that cracked in half yesterday. But we're gonna light her up, you know? She wants to be lit on fire. Thank you. You know, you could tell a lot about the energy. Look at this candle right here. It's lit up right. It's burning, persistent, gentle, smooth. Other times it's just like black smoke everywhere and stuff like that. No. The energy's calm right now. It's good. Well, it's always good, but it's calm right now. Another way you could, you know, really get a feel of the energy around just by looking at the weather, Mother Nature, the trees, the birds, the air, the clouds, everything all together as one. And a lot of people have that ability, but a lot of people ignore it because they think, oh, no, yes, it's for a reason. This candle is so fucked up since since yesterday. But it's okay. We burnt. The reason why I keep burning it is because that's what's gonna happen, right? We gotta completely burn everything that these people have done. Burn them by exposure, by speaking the truth. That's how you burn people. You don't gotta do anything else. Thank you. Ta-da! How are you guys? Good? Good. I just wanted to know. Call in our angels, our ancestors, our spirit guides. Mother Nature, the Galactic Federation, and all the beings that are here protecting us and guiding us. Let's see what the energy is. What Spirit wants us to know. Because there's always something beautiful to learn. Confirmation. Thank you, Mother Nature. Okay. 8 of Earth. Oh my gosh. So we were just speaking about this, right? So there's something that you're studying, right? There's maybe like a new topic. Maybe you're starting school. You're getting a degree about something. Whatever it is, it requires your time and your focus. Look how the girl is there. She's looking studious. She's focused on her craft, on her skills. Whatever it is. And whatever it is, it's going to make you money because Earth. The Pentacles, right? And look, we got the Queen of Water at the bottom of the deck. So whatever it is that you're putting is not only just money, right? Like you're not just looking at it like, oh, this is gonna make me money. No, you're doing it because you actually love what it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing. It could be money, it could be a career, but whatever it is that you're doing, that's because you love it so much and because you're giving your time and energy to it, that will grow. And it's going to be able to make you money. Not only money, but bring in happiness. Because when you do something that you love, that's all, that's all you need. What else do we gotta know about this energy, spirit? What else we gotta see? What else we gotta know? Okay, I got you. I got you, spirit. Oh. Yeah, so it looks to me, look at this. It's like you've been asking God for something for the longest, right? Like whatever it is, a friendship, relationship, a work environment, a career, whatever it is, right? You moving, and look, you see God's hand there. God's given it to you because you asked for it. Because whatever love you had, whatever career, whatever environment, whatever life you had before this, you didn't care about it. Look, the guy's sitting there by a tree with 3 cups. Come on, the cups of water, cups of love, cups of emotion, right? But he doesn't care about those cups because that's not what he wants, right? Maybe he got to that situation just for many different reasons, right? It could be because he was forced into it, or he didn't use his free will to decide whether or not he wanted to be in that situation. But regardless, however you got to in that situation, right? God gifted you with what you really wanted. You see that hand? Come on, that is so godly, that is so heavenly. And now that hand, you accepting God's blessing, because you see it in your life right now, that is bringing in the judgment that needed to happen, right? You answered your inner calling. You answered to that voice within that's been guiding you. I mean, that's been like, yo, you got to do this. You answered to that. And that brought in the judgment. Look at the angel blowing the horns. Like, attention. It's time to give this person what they deserve. And the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant is like the God card in esoteric knowledge, right? It's the card where it represents God, right? It represents traditions, beliefs. Meaning that this blessing that God has blessed you with is part of your path, is part of your destiny. Whether it's a person, whether it's a relationship, a job, a career, so many things, right? You take it as it resonates and leave the rest. But whatever it is, this blessing has your traditions, right? You're not going to lose your morals or values. Instead, that's why the Hierophant card is here, and that's why judgment is here, and that's why God gifted you with this blessing. God's not going to give you something that's not aligned with who you are. No, you obviously did something amazing when you still have your values, your integrity, and your morals intact. And whatever this blessing is, whether it's a new opportunity, a new field of expertise, new friends, new love, whatever it is, it's aligned with your morals, it's aligned with your values, it's aligned with your higher self. And you have to see that. Because a lot of the times we can have literally blessings in front of us and we could just not be in the right mind, really. And that's something that we as humans need to control. God doesn't control your mind, right? You can ask God every day, but if you don't take care of your mental health, if you don't take care of your mind, if you don't silence your mind, there's nothing God could do. Which is why a lot of people think they have a connection to God and they don't. Thank you, Spirit. What else do we gotta know? What else do we gotta see, Spirit? Thank you, beautiful dolls, for your energy. I'm telling you, like, energy does not lie. My dolls, my spiritual dolls, each have their own little personality, their own little. I didn't give them names yet because I just feel like names are just useless. Like when you're so connected, when you have energy, it's like you just feel the energy or you recognize it, and you don't even gotta you don't even gotta know their name. I'm tickling them. Just kidding. Destiny. So yes, you are in your destiny. You are where you need to be in the exact same moment in time. You're doing what you need to do. Oh my gosh, guys. So maybe what you've been asking God, maybe this blessing that you've been asking God was a spiritual union, right? Someone that literally, with the Hierophant card here, someone who is aligned with your tradition, with your values, with your morals, with your integrity. That is what makes this relationship a spiritual union, right? Not every relationship is a spiritual union. And this spiritual, look, we have two guys here, two men. And it could be a man and a woman, or it could be two women. It doesn't matter. That is a spiritual union. And I do want to emphasize that, because not that I have to prove myself to anyone, but people are like, how can Ray is not a divine feminine, how can a man be a divine feminine? Because energy is fluid. There are men who are more in their feminine energy or more in their masculine, but that doesn't matter, right? Regardless of the fact I am from Lumeria and we have different characteristics, right? Oh my gosh, all these crows. I was gonna show you guys, but they left. Literally like 20 of them. We are androgynous, meaning that we can literally look the same as, we're pretty as man or female. I guess that's what you call it. Thank you. But yes, this is a spiritual union, right? This is someone who allows you to be yourself, and they could be themselves with you, which is why the judgment and the Hierophant is here. This is something that the angels, that God, that the universe wants, for you to meet someone that is aligned with you. Someone who's not going to drain your energy. Someone who's going to motivate you on this beautiful path of life. And maybe the topic that you're learning is a little bit more about spirituality, because maybe you didn't know a lot about spirituality. Spirituality is very big. Just how we have good people in this world, we have bad spirituality, like witchcraft and black magic. But that's only for lower levels people, for lower level people, right? For like one-dimensional, two-dimensional beings like narcissists, like my family, and like everyone that had a part in this whole organized crime. And we have to be aware, right? Because these narcissists could be hidden in plain sight. They could be a police officer, a judge, a lawyer. That doesn't mean anything. So yeah, so maybe not only are you opening up your heart, but maybe you are now interested in a new subject that you didn't know before, which is why we have this Eight of Earth here. And maybe this new subject is about spirituality, because you're like, yo, how can I be so connected to this person? Or how can I? It is a spiritual union. It is something ordained by God and protected by the whole universe. And everyone wants to have a spiritual union, which is why we have a lot of people getting in the way of other people's spiritual union. Like in my case, they just wanted to smear my name, create all these lies, saying that I was a prostitute, a drug addict. Literally by my own mother, who is not only physically ill, but mentally ill. My family working with the other person's family, trying to block us from meeting, trying to block us from confirmation, seeing each other. And how long were they doing this for? 10 plus years, right? Come on, that should make you understand the power of a spiritual union. When two souls that are meant to be together come into union, that will literally send a shockwave across the whole universe. Because it's like this energetic cord that's been kind of like being pulled, these people moving around places, and it's like keeps on pulling and pulling and pulling, and when it finally just pops, that's the after effects that you get. Yeah. These people just wanted to cause. That's what they do before I even seen the card. They block. They cause disruptions in people's spiritual union. Just a lot of people. Period. Let's just say it like that. When they see someone else happy in a relationship and they're not aligned, they're not happy with themselves, they are insecure, they'll start hating on that other person's like relationship when they don't even know how that relationship is. Like they just. And these people could be your friends. These people could be your family. And we have to be aware of how they act when we tell them good news about ourselves. So we don't just allow for them to use their free will. Allow for them to take us away from what truly really matters in this life, which is love, right? So we have to choose wisely. We have to choose wisely because these people, right? They love presenting you with so many different options. Oh, date this person. You can go here. You can make more money here. You can do that. But all of that causes confusion. And what is confusion? The devil. If the answer does not arrive at a solid yes, the answer is no. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. What else do we got to know about this spirit? The hangman, yes. So this is what you realize. Maybe you realize who you're meant to be with. Maybe you realize who you're meant to work along with. Maybe you realize the type of career that you actually like. Maybe you realize the type in what city you see yourself flourishing, right? You change your perspective. Yeah, because look at you. This is telling me that for sure your job had a lot to do with it. With the Four of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. See the girl here? This is like how you were at work. See the girl like on her desk and see her face? She's like annoyed. She's like bored. She's like over it. Four of Cups. We got the Four of Cups twice. Look, Four of Cups, Four of Cups. So maybe you even asked God when you were at work for your blessing. Like, oh, God, please get me the fuck out of here. Please, God, get me the fuck out of this relationship. And God showed you, right? What else you gotta see, Spirit? What else you gotta know? Knight of Wands. Yeah, so look, with the Knight of Wands here. I know it's a female in the photo, but energy's fluid. It could be a male or a female. The Knight of Wands, you're feeling the crows again. You're feeling passionate about pursuing this spiritual union, right? Because you're ready for love. You're ready to really feel what a real relationship is, right? A real relationship where it's not controlling, where there's no jealousy or bitterness, where you could actually enjoy silence, being together. Like, that is crazy. Like, that is so powerful. And this is not only do you have this passion, this excitement, full of fire for what's coming, because you know it's aligned with you. That's why you feel so powerful and good about it. But it's a time of, you know, giving and receiving with this person, spending time with this person, spending time so the relationship could grow. And spending time could be a lot of things, right? But that's how you nurture anything. For example, that's how you would nurture this relationship, by taking care of it, by acknowledging it, by spending time with the person, giving. I was going to say giving and kissing, but that too, right? Giving and receiving. Kissing and kissing, hugging and hugging. Love is the most powerful thing in this universe. The star. The star. Literally, this is your destiny, right? And a lot of people could be like, oh, my destiny. So you're saying my destiny will not be my destiny if I'm not with this spiritual union? Then this reading is not for you. If you say that you don't need love in your life, then you're just not aligned. Because everyone needs love in their life. Literally. And not only are you in your destiny, come on, you're the star. The star can mean a lot of things, right? The star brings hope. Like, the star is not just any, like, famous person. Like, no, a star quality person brings in hope, motivation, and situations and environment where that hope has been lost for so long, where that light has been turned off for so long. Maybe you're attracted to this person because of that reason, right? And the Chariot, you're in control of this. You're literally heading the right way. Okay, and with the Two of Pentacles here, that is the balance that you needed in your life. The love. Because maybe your job was good, maybe your money was good, and you were like, oh God, I'm not happy. Missing something. And God was like, okay, we're gonna give it to you. So enjoy it. Don't listen to these people that say, oh, you really want to be in a relationship. These people haven't had a successful relationship, and they never will, because that's their mentality. That's why these people also want to just, disrupt your happiness. By what? By temptations, by causing confusion, making you confused about what you really like and what you really don't like. But we have to see this for what it is, guys, so we don't get confused. Look at my beautiful seashells. What's crazy to me too is, like, the length of time that these people, right, including my family, have been literally working against me and this other person for, like, over like 14 years. How crazy is that? It's like they knew how powerful we are. They knew our destiny before we even figured that out. Of course, they're our parents. Which is why they would want to sacrifice it. Which is why they would want to plan my murder and all of this. Yeah, because they're all drugged out, right? They're all meth heads, crackheads, loves coke, addicted, creepy and obsessed. These people did not want for the creepiness, for the creepiness and the obsession levels to really show, right? They really just wanted me to be quiet, so they could just, if anything, just seem like their plan didn't work. But not only their plan did not work, but now you could see how obsessive and creepy they really were for planning all of this, and for the length of time that they were planning all of this. Yeah, you go to church every Sunday like my mother, or Thursdays, or both days, whatever Jehovah's Witness people do. Turn on Bible verses, and then they use it against you. And a lot of them love to wear crosses on their neck because they like the vibe. They just don't like, they just don't do the right thing. They think it's okay to be bad and still wear a cross. Girl. These people, all they know how to do is rituals, right? And you want to know why they sacrifice these babies and sacrifice these kids, right? Not only to siphon energy, right? But they use that energy, they've been using that energy to keep these two people from meeting. to keep these two people from thinking straight, from becoming who they are. Because when the only way these people could have met was if they were both in their true authentic self, meaning there were no childhood wounds or blockages or anything like that. So imagine adding all this fire and ritual for all these 10 years. Of course, that's going to cause a lot of confusion. But all that time is over. There's no more illusions, right? We can see who the real divine beings are. And we can see that, right, by our health. I don't get sick. Vitality, right? Optimum health. Good, glowing skin. Treats body like a temple, because that's how your body's supposed to be. Your body is your temple. Your body is not a vessel for you to allow just random sex organs to just use it. No. Your body is not a vessel for you to conduct lower vibrational spiritual practices to harm or hurt others. Which is why all that backfires back into your vessel when you do all of those rituals. And these people had a big part. And I mean, they don't, they can't do everything themselves, especially my family, right? So they use other people that, yo, you want to raise sparkly DNA, raise genetically modified DNA after all the meditations and molecular alterations he's done. My mom knows that, which is why she had that nasty ass Deputy Redford from Lee County falsely Baker Act me, which is why she planned my murder. She was trying to get what's inside of me. But these people are so dumb, right? Like, they don't understand that my gifts, my abilities, yes, it shows in my DNA, but you can't steal that. You can't grab confirmation, my connection. So they just bribe people. They bribe all of these lawyers, all of these judges, all of these police officers, people from YouTube to report my shit, right? People to smear my name and just well, I'm glad that we're able to see the dark so we can understand the light, Thank you, buddy. That's why I say pay attention, right? To nature, to the birds, to the sounds around you. Because it really says a lot. And most of the day we just go ignoring it. I used to do that, not anymore. But I'm not saying that in any egotistical way, which is why I tell you guys the importance of meditating, confirmation. Trust me, that is the only way you will meet God. You will see, you'll feel acceptance, right? It says, you may be disappointed with a recent outcome. Remember, if one door closes, you're being redirected to one that will soon open to your true soul path. And that is kind of like what the Four of Cups is. It's like disappointed, like, no, I don't want to be here. But look, the new path is literally God giving you an idea, giving you a blessing. Hey, come this way. And I'm glad that you see that. So you basically did accept whatever didn't work out in the past. And now you're open to your true soul path, to your destiny. That is beautiful. Thank you, Spirit, for this beautiful message. Thank you, beautiful Barbie dolls. And thank you guys for coming back to my channel. See you guys next time.